Betamax?
Yep.
Oh,
Who's setting a VCR?
I mean,
some people might be.
Maybe
You'd be
some
surprised.
No, you're right. There are some.
you never know.
You never know. There may be someone out there with a Betamax that has to stay up, and because you can't program those babies. All right. Thankfully, no reports of any damage from the river parishes where we had our earlier tornado warning. Again, no tornado confirmed, just being depicted by radar. And thankfully, radar finally starting to settle. Kind of a little cluster of some heavier thunderstorms moving right along I-59 toward Poplarville. Will continue moving northward. Elsewhere, most of the rainfall kind of winding down. A few little light sprinkles near Gramercy. Also looks like those are falling apart. We did pick up some decent rainfall totals, but overall, not much. We had a hundredths of an inch at Kenner, picked up over a half inch of rainfall at Lakefront, then did see over an inch of rain at Slidell, and we're kind of increasing that total of Picayune, 1.58 thus far. Clearing skies already being seen, and the clearing line is already to Lafayette, so we will be under clear skies overnight tonight. Now, the cold front itself, though, is still well out to our west. That's where the drier air is. So even as we clear out later tonight, we're not going to really feel a dramatic drop in temperature or humidity. Now, by tomorrow morning, we will have that drier air moving in. So we'll start the day in the 60s. Not exactly colder, but it'll feel a whole lot nicer. Then gradually cooler air moves in throughout the day Thursday. And by Friday morning, we'll see temperatures in the 40s and 50s. So we will see a more significant cool down. And note in the upper atmosphere, here comes that surge, that upper push we have been waiting for with this upper trough. That brings in a taste of fall for a few days. Again, not a dramatic drop in temperature right behind it, although afternoon highs will be at least closer to the normal, which is 72. And there may be a day or so where we see as highs in around 70 degrees. So kind of right at about average for this time of year, because this upper trough is not a particularly strong one. And note the upper pattern right behind the front is kind of out of the west-northwest. What we're waiting for, a real drop in temperature, comes in mid next week. This will be a deepening upper trough that basically takes an air mass out of Canada and brings it straight down to the Gulf South. And really much of the nation will experience a big drop in temperature as we head later into next week, and an increasing likelihood of temperatures kind of for the second half of November to stay below average. So if you were hoping for that chill for Thanksgiving, we're certainly on the correct path. Out in the tropics, so we're talking about a cold front and a likely hurricane moving toward the Gulf. We have potential tropical cyclone 19. Again, this is still Invest 99, but because of its proximity to land, Hurricane Center classified it as a PTC, so warnings can start to be issued. Now, in the near future, we're not going to see much with this. It'll eventually strengthen probably later tomorrow and then just kind of sit, not moving a whole lot. It'll eventually get a little bit of a pickup as we head later into next week over the Yucatan. And the spaghetti plots are kind of in pretty good agreement, keeping it generally down in the Caribbean through the weekend, and then by early next week starting to move into the Gulf. There is a possibility, not of it coming here, but of us tapping into some of that moisture ahead of that next strong cold front. This moisture could surge northward by Tuesday and help to fuel maybe some more scattered showers and thunderstorms ahead of the next front late next week. No more as we get closer, but we still could tap into some tropical moisture. Not that we're expecting a hurricane to move toward Louisiana, not this late in the season. 80 degrees was our high today. Again, only picked up 9/10 of an inch of rainfall. Already starting to see some clearing of our skies out toward downtown. Still mild and muggy, 77 with a dew point of 74. Overnight lows dropping into the 60s, then a high of 70 degrees on Friday after a morning start in the 40s and 50s. 40s and 50s again Saturday. Kind of a gradual climb in temperatures. There's that better chance of rain, especially if we can tap into that tropical moisture with a more significant drop in temperature. Probably by the end of next week, highs will stay in the 50s.